Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Will Manchester United's game against Newcastle go ahead on the 27th of December? Now this week, Manchester United have had 2 games postponed. Earlier on in the week, Manchester United and Brentford got postponed due to COVID, and the Premier League confirmed yesterday that Manchester United's game against Brighton got postponed. A lot of other league games have been postponed as well. Now recently, Man United were hit with 19 new COVID cases. As earlier on in the week, Manchester United reopened the Carrington training ground because the Man United first team players returned to training. Revert back to Monday, Manchester United shut their Carrington training ground. But I'm hoping the game against Newcastle can go ahead. If it does go ahead, I'm expecting Manchester United to win. Because Newcastle are relegation fodder. Newcastle are sitting 19th in the Premier League at the moment. There's a very good chance that Newcastle will go down this season. Newcastle recently lost 3-1 to Liverpool. Now the Newcastle manager is Eddie Howe. When Newcastle appointed Eddie Howe in, he signed a 2.5-year contract. So he's got a contract with Newcastle until 2024. Before Newcastle, Eddie Howe managed Bournemouth, and at one point he managed Burnley. Now before Eddie Howe, Newcastle had Steve Bruce. Obviously Newcastle sacked him earlier on in the season, and before that Newcastle had Rafa Benitez. Obviously Rafa Benitez resigned from Newcastle because he didn't get enough backing, and obviously didn't get the players he wanted. Earlier on in the season, Newcastle had that takeover by the Saudi Arabians. Before the Saudi Arabians, Newcastle had Mike Ashley. He was Newcastle's owner for around 13 years. He did get heavily criticised. Now I do know quite a few of the players that Newcastle have got. Obviously one of their key players is Alan Saint-Maximin. He recently picked up an injury. Newcastle have also got Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson is a former Bournemouth player. Newcastle have also got Ryan Fraser. They've also got Joelinton. They've also got Dwight Gale. Newcastle have also got Sean Longstaff. They've got Paul Dummett. Paul Dummett is out with injury at the moment. They've also got John Joe Shelvey. John Joe Shelvey is a former Liverpool and Swansea player. Newcastle have also got Isaac Hayden. They've got Lascelles. Newcastle have also got Jamal Lewis. He's out with injury at the moment. They've also got Federico Fernandez. He's out with injury at the moment. Newcastle have also got Matt Ritchie. They've got Manquillo. They've got Kieran Clark. They've also got Joseph Willock. They've got Almiron as well. I think Newcastle's first choice goalkeeper is it Carl Darlow. They've also got another goalkeeper called Dubravka. Now, last season, Manchester United beat Newcastle 4-1 at St James's Park. Manchester United beat Newcastle 4-1 earlier on this season at Old Trafford. You know, Ronaldo scored twice in that game on his second debut. But like I say, if this game was to go ahead and Manchester United were to win it, that would be 4 wins in a row in the Premier League. Manchester United won their last game against Norwich 1-0. Cristiano Ronaldo scored the winner from the penalty spot. Ronaldo won the penalty because he got brought down by Max Aarons. So Ronaldo now has 13 goals in all competitions since he re-signed for Man United. And Ronaldo's got 802 goals in his career. Manchester United are obviously missing players. Obviously, Varane's still out with a hamstring injury. If the game against Newcastle goes ahead, Varane could be making his return. Well, it said if the game against Brighton would have gone ahead, Varane could have made his return. Pogba, he's still out with a thigh injury at the moment. Pogba is out for the rest of the year, but he is stepping up his recovery. Cavani's still out, but I heard that Cavani is close to returning. Lindelof obviously had a chest injury. He had to come off against Norwich, Lindelof, because he was suffering breathing difficulties and chest pains. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's got an injury, or did have an injury. He came off injured in the 1-1 draw against Young Boys. Martial, he picked up an injury not so long ago. So they're the injuries Man United have got. Matic has been out with a cold, and Juan Mata has got illness. Now, Ralph Rangnick, he's enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Manchester United. So far, he's unbeaten. And reflecting on the win against Norwich, that was back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Ralph Rangnick. Ralph Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager on a 6-month contract. That takes him until the end of the season. And it's said after, Rangnick will take a consultancy role for a further 2 years. There's a chance that Rangnick will get the Man United job on a permanent basis if he does well as the interim manager. Rangnick has been given a £100 million transfer budget for January. He can get quite a few players out of £100 million. I said Rangnick's got to heavily invest in January if he is to succeed as Man United manager. Now, there's been quite a few players that Manchester United are interested in. Now, there's a good chance that Amadou Haidara will be the first signing of the Rangnick era. Revert back to earlier on in the season, Rangnick said he wants Amadou Haidara as his first signing as Man United manager. Recently, Amadou Haidara admits he's a Man United fan and also a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. Amadou Haidara has a £33 million release clause. Rangnick knows the player well because before Rangnick managed RB Leipzig. Frankie de Jong, he's still being mentioned. Now, Fabrizio Romano has provided us with an update on Frankie de Jong. He said that Manchester United have not yet held any talks with Barcelona over the move for Frankie de Jong. Revert back to earlier on in the week, Frankie de Jong's father did admit that Man United have the disadvantage in the transfer pursuit, something to do with the bad weather. Barcelona got Frankie de Jong from Ajax back in 2019 for around £65 million. Rudiger, he's still being mentioned as well. Rangnick could be the key factor in Man United's chances of signing Rudiger from Chelsea, because Rangnick knows Rudiger's agent and brother very well, so that's beneficial. Earlier on in the week, Antonio Rudiger reportedly rejected a contract extension offer from Chelsea. You know, Rudiger's current contract expires at the end of the season. Revert back to earlier on in the week, it said Real Madrid held talks with Rudiger. Bayern Munich and PSG have also expressed an interest. Rudiger has been at Chelsea since 2017. Chelsea got Rudiger for around £29 million from Roma. He's made 110 appearances, in the Premier League for Chelsea. I'd love to see Rudiger come to Man United. You know, Rudiger and Varane would complement each other very well in our back line. Kamara's also been on Rangnick's agenda. So too has Jude Bellingham and Calvin Phillips. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Man United are going to focus on the outgoings next year as well as the incomings. Now, obviously, you know the news on Edinson Cavani. Reports have said today that Edinson Cavani will join Barcelona in January. To replace Sergio Aguero, because Aguero recently retired due to heart problems. Cavani is prepared to terminate his contract to go to Barcelona. Barcelona have offered Cavani an 18-month contract. Cavani has rejected Boca Juniors. Cavani's current contract expires next summer. Like I said, Cavani's out with injury at the moment. He had an injury earlier on in the season. You know, Cavani initially lost his place in the team with the club re-signing Ronaldo last summer. You know, Manchester United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG. You know, this season's been Cavani's second full season at Man United. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him, because look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG, and he was also a long-serving player when he was at PSG as well. Obviously, you know the news on Anthony Martial. Juventus are keen on a loan move for Martial. Atletico Madrid have also been in for him. It said Atletico Madrid are keen on a swap deal for Martial. Not so long ago it said Newcastle were interested in him. And Barcelona have been in for him. I'm not too sure where Martial's going to go, but last Friday, Anthony Martial's agent did say that Martial wants to leave Man United in January. Not so long ago, Rangnick revealed that he's not spoken with Martial, and Rangnick told Martial to speak with him directly if obviously Martial wants to leave the club. You know, Martial has only made 2 starts in the Premier League this season, so that just tells you that he's not getting nowhere near enough game time at Man United. Martial's been at Manchester United for 6.5 years. He scored 79 goals in 268 appearances in all competitions. You know, Martial's got 3 years left on his contract. Man United paid the initial fee of 36 million for Martial from Monaco back in 2015. He's only enjoyed 1 good season at Man United. That was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Juan Mata, I think he's leaving next year. Lingard, I think he's leaving next year. I'm hearing that Man United want around £20 million for Jesse Lingard. Man United could sell Paul Pogba in the January transfer window. It would make sense to sell him in January rather than let him go on a free next summer, because Pogba's current contract expires next summer. Revert back to the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. Rangnick did say not so long ago that he won't try to convince Paul Pogba to stay at Manchester United if he wants to go. Like I said, Pogba's not available at the moment because he's out with a thigh injury. But he has been a big miss, because revert back to the start of the Premier League season, he was in scintillating form. You know, Pogba's provided 7 assists so far in the league this season. He produced good performances in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while. Dean Henderson, you know the news on him. Fabrizio Romano said yesterday that Dean Henderson wants to leave Manchester United in January to get more game time. You know, Dean Henderson doesn't really get in goal now, because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Henderson's only made 2 appearances this season. But revert back to earlier on in the season, Henderson had COVID for a while. Towards the end of last season though, Henderson got the number 1 jersey, and he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season, to his credit. Henderson has got that experience behind him, because he enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. And before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Amad Diallo, I'm hearing that he's going to be going out on loan next year to get obviously more opportunities, because he seldom plays in Man United's first team. I expect him to play a lot more in the first team, you know, reflecting on what we paid for him. We got Amad Diallo in a deal worth 37 million with add-ons included. Man United paid around 19 million up front. Man United got him from Atalanta. So yeah, there's going to be players that leave in January. Obviously, players are going to leave next summer as well. Obviously, Rangnick is planning a big clear out. I can assure at the end of the season that Manchester United will get a permanent manager. Like I said earlier on in the video, if Rangnick does well as the interim, there's a chance he'll get the Man United job on a permanent basis. I heard not so long ago that Erik ten Hag is the favourite to become Man United's next permanent manager. You've obviously had Pochettino, that's been persistently linked with a permanent role at Man United. You know, revert back to earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers was mentioned. And revert back to the other week, Roberto Mancini was also mentioned. You know, Manchester United have sat 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. You know, Man United sat Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, and almost a month ago now, Manchester United sat Ole Gunnar Solskjaer following the 4-1 defeat to Watford. Solskjaer was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. As you all know, Kieran McKenna left Manchester United. He's now the Ipswich Town manager. He signed a 3-year contract at Ipswich. I hope him all the best at Ipswich. Kieran McKenna was Manchester United's assistant for around 3 years. And earlier on today, I gave you the news on Edwin van der Sar. It said, you know, Edwin van der Sar leaves the door open for the Manchester United job. You know, Edwin van der Sar says he's very happy in Amsterdam. So, reflecting on that, he's ruled out a return to Manchester United. We'll revert back to the other week. It did say that Edwin van der Sar expects a future role at Man United. And Edwin van der Sar the other week spoke about Man United's interest in Erik ten Hag. You know, don't forget Van der Sar is a former Man United goalkeeper. Van der Sar's worked as a CEO at Ajax for around 5 years. He joined Ajax as a CEO in 2016. And on my last video, I gave you the news on Van der Beek. Van der Beek's now staying at Manchester United because Van der Beek is valued by Ralf Rangnick, so he will not be allowed to leave in January. Van der Beek just needs to get more starts at Manchester United because he doesn't get enough starts. I expected him to start a lot more games than he has done. Let's put into the equation how much Man United got Van der Beek for. We got Van der Beek for 40 million with add-ons included, and Van der Beek's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. You know, revert back to when we had Solskjaer, Van der Beek was very frustrated because he wasn't getting enough opportunities. Don't forget, towards the end of Solskjaer's managerial tenure, Van der Beek confirmed that he wants to leave Man United in January. He's endured a difficult 19-20 months or so at Man United, Van der Beek. You know, he's only scored 2 goals for the football club. So, anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.